Happiness at work. Some of you might listen to this on the tube, maybe in London, and you're on the way to work, maybe to Canary Wharf Financial District, and you might think, well, when I look around here, that might not look too happy. Still, we have an international expert today with us for an interview, Mrs. van den Boom. She wrote 2 international bestsellers, lives in Sweden, lived in the Netherlands, lived in Germany, and has in-depth knowledge, including scientific results about happiness at work. Hello, Mrs. van den Boom. Hello, Maike.
Hey, from Sweden.
Yeah, from Sweden, great.
Sweden talking.
Absolutely. So when we now think about happiness at work, of course, there will be some people who say that's rather a topic which is not that relevant. It doesn't really affect our profit or bottom line. Also, it is a bit vague. When someone would ask you, we are a huge enterprise, a large enterprise, quite hard for us to change. It takes a long time. Why should happiness? Because we are a large corporation, we have a good employer's brand, people apply to work for us. Why should we care about happiness? Because isn't that more like a private thing and people need to take care of that by themselves?
No, happiness is not a private thing. I would say it's a corporate thing, because if your company is already doing well, nice, but it even can do better if you focus on the happiness of the people, because happy people are on average 20% more productive, more creative. They are the better team players. So it's just a add-on you also lose if you don't focus on it. But to be honest, if I look from the Scandinavian countries, it should not be the aim to have happy people to catch more money, because that is something people will feel. It's about, if you look at the happiness of the Nordic countries and their also their economic successes, then it's more because people really care about the happiness of their co-workers. It's really something that is the most important thing for the companies here. So it starts with the happiness, and then you can look, how do they reach it? And I can say in a quite different way than the most other European countries do that, because they are more focusing on the freedom of the individual co-worker. If you look for Sweden, it's the most individualistic country of the world from the World Values Survey, and all these Nordic countries are on top, because they say if you focus and work on the uniqueness of a person, then you manage to combine these unique persons together in a really strong team, then you have a profit from the best. Because if I do the best of me, if I take out, how do you say, make the best of me?
Yeah,
you say it like
make
this?
the best of me. Yeah.
Then it's always something that is an additional profit for the rest. But then you need 2 things. First, you have to see the co-workers. You have to realize what is unique, and it's not to be a good controller, but it's his passion for asking the right questions. E.g., yeah, and then combine it with a strong team thought, and that is what the Nordics are very strong. They are really, really always talking in we together as a team. So that's this combination, individualistic and collaboration. This combination makes them so innovative and successful and happy, because you can just be yourself. And then if you can be yourself and you have the feeling you are accepted as a person with your strong parts, with your weaknesses, with your normal life, it just relax and you can just let it go. Then you feel relaxed, and then you can use your strength and your energy. And if you look at the Nordics, it's all about energy. It's not about time. You sit with your butt on the chair. It's about the energy you'd use for your work. And that means if you go home and pick up your child at 2:00, that's totally okay. If you're tired and you go for a little run around the park, totally okay. No one looks on the clock or measures the time or something, or has any doubts about that you will do the work you have to do. Can be in the evening, can be on Saturday on the football, on the how do you say, on the soccer, when your young son is having a soccer game,
sports
whatever
event.
So and that is only possible with one strong base, and that is trust in people. Only if you have trust in people, then you can let them go, and then you can then they can develop in their work.
So let's assume someone is listening to this and thinks that's a good idea, and then of course they might think, well, when I now walk into my office and make this suggestion, I will most likely meet strong resistance, especially when we are doing well. At the moment, people will say it's already running well. Changing a running system might have the danger of not running that well afterwards. And of course, in a rather conservative environment, or for example, the financial industry, let's pick London as an example, people might also say it's quite hard to change that organization. I don't think it culturally fits to us, because we are, and that's what, especially in the UK, often is very much emphasized, we are very traditional, so maybe this is not for us. What do you think when someone tells you that this is not for us as a reason for not getting engaged with the whole topic?
That's quite funny, because I'm actually booked as a speaker very often from just the financial sector, because they realize, okay, we are traditional, but but hey, wait, the outside world is changing so fast that traditions are too slow. We are just losing the context of the future. So we have to, we are traditional. How we get, agile? Agile? What's the name for it?
Agile.
Agile. Okay, how to create that? And then the Nordics are a good example, because they are enormous. This focusing on the individual and having very, very no tight structures. These people are very free, so they are super adaptable, super flexible to everything that happens in the market, and every development that comes. They are highly digitalized. They are highly innovative, and okay, you have these traditions, but do the tradition and the traditions make you successful? Now we have that in Germany also, and that is the problem. If you are successful, that you are successful now because of the past, but that has no saying about how you will thrive in the future. And the future is fast, and the pace has to go a little bit up, not of the people perhaps, but of the structures. And then you're much better off if you can adapt very, very quickly. That's my answer, if that makes sense.
So, okay. So when someone now thinks, I am a bit unsure how to approach my senior leadership team about this, or maybe they even approach them and they say, okay, we might take a look into it. Could you please make a plan for this? What, in your opinion, would be, let's say, the top 3 ideas, the top 3 approaches, the very first 3 steps where people can say, this is where we start to engage with that topic of happiness at work?
Yeah, then we start at, of course, the management, or how do we say, the leaders, not the managers, but the leaders. Because if it starts with trust, then it starts with trusting yourself. Also having also the trust and faith in yourself as a leader. If your role is changing, and it will in this structure, what is my role then, and am I able to let go control? And that is also where it's all about, letting go to control. So it's trust. Do I trust myself? But also, am I able to make the decision to trust my people? Because it's not more than a decision. There it starts for if you talk at the top, and then of course don't forget to involve everyone in the company, because that is typical Nordic. Everyone knows everything. Everyone wants to be involved. There is no real leadership in the Nordic countries because everyone is a leader. And to train the people in being a leader, I always suggest to introduce this terrible question, the question why. So if you are asking someone in Scandinavian countries, can you do this? Then it's okay. Why? Can we not? Why not left? Why right? Why straight forward? Why not salto backwards? So they always want to be involved, and people start thinking by themselves and being involved if they are allowed. And to ask questions, to question everything, also your authority, also your decision. That's very painful, but it works. So that's what.
Yeah. So would you, from your experience, say that this is an approach which could work with any organization in any? So, do you have any proof that it works in different industries and not only in maybe just one?
Yes, I want to say yes, so I have. Yes, because that was one of the things. I always also was curious when I did the research for my book, when I visited 30 Scandinavian companies. So I went to the hospitals, I went to the airlines, I went to the metro, to the simple production companies. So all the whatever I could think of, I visited them and talked to the people to get an overall picture. Is this mentality of freedom, trust, and responsibility? Is this? Can you really manage that in every kind and every type of company? Also from big companies that are on the stock market, from 50,000 or IKEA 120,000 people, to a little company on an island in Norway from 5 people. It's always the same mentality, and it works. It is, and that's also what I tell the people. Don't be so fearful. Say fearful.
Fearful.
Don't be so fearful. It really, the world does go on if you let go control, and you just have to rearrange the whole structure. It's a quite big job, but it is not like that people don't take responsibility. They never had a chance to take responsibility because they were stuck in rules and boxes. Here, if you ask the people, they said, we never have been. They always talk about thinking out of the box. We have never been in this box. We even don't know where this box is. Okay, so that's the
very
sweets.
good. Very good. So being a bit provocative here, if someone approaches you and says, well, it doesn't fit to our culture, it doesn't fit to our company, and I'm going to ask a sort of yes/no question now. When someone gives you this reason, it doesn't really fit for us, do you think it's an excuse?
Yes.
There we feel the German in you. It is a very clear answer. And I think we had many valuable input here, much valuable input, and great advice on how to approach happiness in leadership. Of course, when you look into the show notes, you're going to see the contact data of Maike van den Boom, so you can get in touch with her directly. And now I have to say only one more phrase, and that is, Mrs. van den Boom, Maike, thank you very much for your time.